Okay, so people always complain when I'm 10 minutes late, so I know they're going to complain if I'm 10 minutes early. This stream is sort of, I guess, a proof of concept. Hopefully it's working. All the tests have been working. It's been working on PeerTube. It's been working on YouTube, not live. But I'm doing a stream just with Fmp Mpeg. So hopefully this will work out. Let me actually close some browser windows. It'll be just a normal live stream. If you want to donate, you can. But everything is working great, actually, with Fmp Mpeg. I feel really stupid for not doing this before. Since the beginning of my YouTube channel, I've always recorded videos in Fmp Mpeg. For those who don't know, maybe I should explain it, because, I don't know, you got a bunch of new people here, always. I don't say, well, that sounded like a bad thing. Oh, I've got a bunch of new people here. But Fmp Mpeg is a command line program where you can basically tell the computer how to record your screen or whatever. And I've always recorded videos with it because back in the day, I was using a ThinkPad X200, and it only has an Intel Core 2 Duo. So if you want to use something like OBS on it, it's just impossible. And OBS, like, I've used it for live streaming, but it's pretty pointless for recording videos because it's just a giant graphical program you pull up just to run one Ffmpeg command. It's just a graphical wrapper for that. I mean, I don't know if it actually calls Ffmpeg, but, you know, you could just get the command yourself and, you know, have it work out. So anyway, guys, tell me if the audio is screwed up here. I think, well, the audio sound, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be, yeah, okay, people are already saying the audio is out of sync. I sort of know that's going to happen. Maybe I could probably change that real time, but I don't know if I'm going to make it worse or better. I know how to change that in Ffmpeg because I do it on my videos. I just know, how bad is it? Is it like more than a second? Actually, maybe I can pull it up myself. Let me pull it up myself. Gotta actually listen to it. Yeah, we're doing bug testing live. I just see that at least it's going through. Yeah, because whenever I'm recording directly from a webcam input, there's always a little bit of a delay. How do I turn this freaking audio on? Okay. Audio out of sync. Not even a second. Yeah, it's probably like, I want to say it's something like 0.35 seconds because that's like the perfect. Yeah, less than a second. Okay, so maybe I'll talk. Well, I won't talk slowly. Maybe I'll just sort of cover my mouth so it doesn't bother you that much. But anyway, so I want to use Ffmpeg for streaming, and I'll go ahead and tell you why. OBS, now firstly, the big problem with OBS, the significant problem as far as I'm concerned, is that OBS signed the petition against Richard Stallman. And, you know, when that happened, a bunch of other, mostly like Soyware, like stuff that no one should be using anywhere because it's like poorly written. I mean, like all these, why am I wearing this? That looks stupid. All these like compromised software projects like wrote out against him or whatever because they're stupid. But the only ones that I use in that list was OBS, and I want to say Lineage OS, which is like a free like phone ROM thing, which really it's outclassed by Graphene OS. But I had installed Lineage on a phone, but then again, like I never use my phone, so maybe that doesn't count. But if I reflash my ROM, reinstall a new operating system on my phone, I will probably install Graphene or whatever. But additionally, due to some kernel update on OBS, whenever I was streaming, like if I got 30 minutes into a stream, it would go, like everything would be like 100% CPU usage, all my memory would be taken up. And it was just OBS, and it just happened. I think it was sort of a combination between a Linux problem, a kernel problem, and a OBS problem. But either way, maybe switching to BSD would take care of that problem. But what was I going to say? But yeah, I'm looking at this now. It's insane. Like I am streaming from my computer, and it's using something like 20% of my CPU. And this is on a really old i5. Anyway, so I'm just talking about boring technical stuff. If you have comments, things you want to talk about, send in a donation at donate.lukesmith.xyz. Actually, that's one thing I need to do. Usually I have like a banner with the link on it on the screen so you know where to donate. But, well, it's in the video description as well. But I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe it's cleaner not having anything. Maybe it's too much of a shill thing. But that's the kind of thing that OBS makes easy. Okay. So I'll go ahead. I do have a donation actually from last time that I'll read. So Chris donates $20, says, hey Luke, or Chris from the Midwest, he says, hey Luke, a question about your next live stream, or question for your next live stream. This one. I'm 25 and work full-time at a job, 45 plus hours a week, develop web applications on the side, and I'm starting a business with some family members. In addition, I also volunteer at my local drum corps on the weekends. My question is to you is, do you think there's such a thing as being too busy and doing productive, doing productive work? Do you think we need to, or should we strive to find a balance between work and relaxation? Please keep up the great content. Yeah, so it's funny. Like, I don't believe in a difference between work and relaxation. That is post. I mean, that's a very modern idea. Like, I mean, for me, you have to do work that you enjoy, and there are lots of different things that you can do, especially in like computing. Like, there are so many things that you can. That's not to say you're always going to enjoy it, but I mean, it's pretty easy to find something that you could do as like enjoyment, right? So of course, it's funny, like people on the internet, people on the internet think a bunch of stupid things about me, like one way or the other. But a lot of people will give me comments about, oh, well, you're all work and no play. You just work all the time. You have all these stupid projects. And you like make fun of me when I'm playing video games. And for me, it's not about anti-fun. It's about when you're doing productive things, you will find that to be enjoyable. On the other hand, so that's what people say about me on the internet. Oh, I'm like no fun or whatever, because I'm always working. I'm always doing something. On the other hand, a lot of people in my real life who don't really know me that well, but like they're often surprised. Like they just think, because I don't have to do a 9 to 5. I have done 9 to 5s recently, but since I don't need to do one, I just sit around on my computer all day, because that's what it looks like, right? But most of the time I'm working on some kind of project, something that's going to pay off in the future. So I have always been a proponent of it's not so much do a bunch of work and then have fun. It's do work so that your work gets closer to the thing that you enjoy. Always make steps in that direction. So, I mean, it depends on, do you actually enjoy writing web applications and stuff, to this guy's original question. And that's, for him to make the call of. But most of the stuff that I do for enjoyment is work, and most of the work I do is, I enjoy. That's also why, every once in a while, people will ask me about, early retirement memes, do you want to retire early? As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to keep doing, obviously the things that I do are going to change, month to month even, but, in general, I plan on doing more or less what I'm doing now for the rest of my life. There's never going to be a point where I say, oh, I'm just going to quit, I'm going to retire. At the same time, there's a sense in which I sort of am retired now. It's not because I guess you could say, because I have a lot of free time, or at least flexibility in time, not necessarily free time, but okay. Let's see here. Now, by the way, I'll go ahead and say, I don't think anyone sent in a super chat donation or anything. Actually, I should check the chat just to make sure everything's going okay. Hey Luke, don't you use Google Pixels with Grapheme or something like that, because you are always anti-phone and anti-Google, so this is a great option for you. I do use a Google Pixel, and the irony is phones manufactured by Google are actually the easiest to de-Google. So that's why getting it. And Grapheme, I think, is only for Google Pixels because they're so easy to do. Let's see. But it looks like people are not complaining about the quality of the audio or video. Again, sorry about the lack of syncing. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Let's see what people have said. Yeah, having pop-ups on the stream makes it less clean. Yeah, but it wasn't a pop-up. It was just like a banner. I don't know. Maybe I should make a frame around it, just with links to my website, or a super chat link or donation link. It probably is making a difference, because by now I don't think anyone's donated yet, but usually someone has, because it's they're staring in front of their face. But it's no big deal if no one. If no one does, I'll just read the normal chat. Let's see. Yeah. People keep saying video's out of sync. I know the video's out of sync. I could fix it right now. I could turn off the stream, change one variable and then pull it back up, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't make a difference. Let's see. When will we see LARB's BSD? Probably not. Well, I don't know. BSD, I think, people are talking to me about it. It's something like an install site. They have something built in that's sort of like LARB's, where it like pre-configures like some setup. I'm pretty sure. So I'll look into that. Although right now, I actually have to... I was actually... well, I don't want to tell you that, but... what Pixel do you use? I want to say it's a Google Pixel 3. I'm not quite sure. I don't know phones. Like as I said, I very rarely use mine. I mean, I'll carry it around sometimes. But like there's nothing on it. Like I'm the kind of person, I don't even have a lock on my phone, because if my phone gets stolen, there's literally nothing on there that is at all valuable. I mean, I guess a couple text messages to relatives, there's nothing sensitive on it, I think it's totally nuts when people have, bank accounts and cryptocurrency wallets on their phone. That is just so weird to me. Like if someone guesses your PIN, they could steal all your money. Or same thing with a lot of cryptocurrency wallets. It's nuts. Like if you have, to me, it's crazy to have a Bitcoin wallet, Monero wallet on your phone. Let's see. Can you do more shell scripting with Luke? I do videos when I have a reason to do them. There are a couple things. So here are a couple things, little scripts that I've done in the past months. It makes it sound like I've been working on them for months. Usually what happens is I'll sit down one time and I'm like, it'd be really cool to have this on my status bar, and then I'll write a script for it. One minor little thing is I now have a Doppler radar indicator. I think I may have uploaded the script to my GitHub, but for DWM, you can just click on it and it will bring up a Doppler radar for your your area, right? I don't know. Is that just an American thing? A Doppler radar? It shows you where it's raining. Okay, that's what it is. How close rain is to you. David sends in $10. Any chance you'll be making more woodworking videos in the future? I started learning a couple months ago and already built a nice workbench and end table. I haven't had any... I've had no extreme need to do woodworking recently. I've actually been doing a bunch of cleaning up my house and stuff. However, none of it has been constructive. It's been mostly destructive. I actually tore down a bunch of old cabinets and stuff that were actually particle board. I don't know why. Never get particle board outside. It's so stupid. Whoever owned my place before I moved in had particle board, and it just bloats up and the doors are unopenable and they fall apart. It's just totally, it's a waste. Bosco says, have you gotten into IPFS? No, I haven't. I mean, that's one of those things I should be looking up. I think it's okay. I know that there's a cryptocurrency project based on that. I think the Filecoin, but I don't know much about it. It's interplanetary file system for people who have not heard about that. But people will often be like, "Oh, dude, you got to check this out. Maybe you'd like it." That feel when you're still a college student and live in a cringe dorm, so you can't do woodworking. Yeah, that's pretty cringe. That's one of the big things. A lot of people ask me about living in apartments. Well, living in apartments, I think everyone knows, is pretty cucked because you're renting, so it's going to nothing. But additionally, people will ask me oh, what about living mobile? What about living in a camper? And the big thing is you can't have tools, and that might sound like a weird thing if you've never really done work, but it makes a big difference. Let's see. All right. So, my lamp databases sends in $10. My girlfriend so bloat the recursive my girlfriend is so bloated the recursive function calculating her mass causes a Stack Overflow. Okay, well, thank you for the donation and the hilarious joke. So let's see. Where can I find the script? If you're talking about the Doppler radar script, it's on my GitHub. So I assume you know how to get there. Maybe you don't. GitHub.com/LukeSmithXYZ/voidrice. And it's in the .local/bin directory. Or .local/bin, maybe /statusbar. I forget if I keep the status bar stuff in a separate directory. Let's see. All right, I'm going to check up on HTOP and let's see. Let's see my... Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Why have I not been streaming in Fmp Mpeg the whole time? 25% CPU usage. This is fantastic. Like I could have been streaming from like... I could have been streaming from an X200. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I have thought... So I have two computers. Okay, I have this laptop, my ThinkPad that I use for pretty much everything. And I do have that desktop that I showed in the video where I was talking about OpenBSD. And that I really do nothing with. I've just had it for forever. I want to say it was like a Christmas present when I was a kid or something like that. I forget exactly where I got it. Maybe it was like a graduating college present. I think my parents had gotten it to me or gotten it for me years and years and years ago. But I don't really do anything on that. But I have been thinking about like getting a new laptop. Now, the thing is, like, when it comes to classic ThinkPads, there are things that I can't leave about them. Like, they are a lot more modular than a bunch of other computers. But I think the biggest thing is actually I have to have a track point. I can't live without a track point. There's no way that I could survive going down to a stupid trackpad to use a mouse. I just can't do that. The keyboard that I have, I've done a video on my Unicomp thing. It has a track point as well. I can't survive living without that. I don't know how anyone could. So the thing is, modern computers or laptops, like I've never really seen one with a track point. I think like Lenovo a couple of years ago wanted to do like, oh, let's create a modern ThinkPad. Okay, you know, it has all the modern perks like 1080p. I would sort of like 1080p on this laptop. It has that, what is it, the like 1366 by 7 whatever, something weird. But I don't know. So if anyone knows about a good laptop out there, that's what I'm trying to say. But when Lenovo put out this like new refurbished like version of the classic ThinkPad, there were a bunch of things wrong with it too. I forget exactly all the annoyances, but okay, let's see. I'm gonna look at the chat here, see what's going on. Modern ThinkPads have track points. Well, modern ThinkPads, okay, maybe I should be clear. Modern ThinkPads, like, they don't have the classic keyboard, which is kind of an annoyance. And just in general, the build quality has decreased over time. In fact, even the version I use, like, the X220 is fantastic. Gets everything done. But if you compare it to, like, one of the really old ThinkPads, back when they were made in America, they are like, well, they weigh more, but that's because they're like less plastic. They like you could like beat someone with it. Like, it's so much better. I used to have an X60. That was like the first ThinkPad I got. It was like $30. I was like, I'll buy it. We'll see how these ThinkPads really are. And it was fantastic. That's one of the reasons I ended up using a X220, because ThinkPads were great. But the X60 is just so much more durable. It's so much, it's you can feel the difference, you know. Okay, let's see. This is probably the most we've talked about technology in a stream in like literally years, which is pretty weird. I'm gonna get some water. Hold on. All right, so I should probably check donations. Okay, none. All right, I'll look at the chat. What's wrong with having a bunch of services on containers? That's a good question. Maybe I should do a video on it. Now, containers have a purpose. It's just most of the time, if you're like a normal person, like if you have your own VPS, like the kind of stuff I do videos for, containers are frustrating. They get in your way. They're supposed to be like easy to install and deploy, especially if you're using something like Docker. But the thing is, containers don't interface well with other software on your computer. Like they're basically run as, you know, this is its own hermetically sealed service, and it's not going to do anything else. I'm a Unix person. I like programs that are interacting. I like to have VPSs that have different things on it. So I like containers are just frustration, and they're just an annoyance. Like containers are probably good for, I mean, this sounds condescending, but they're probably good for people who don't really know that much about managing servers and just want to get things working. Or, you know, people who, I guess maybe, who are, you know, doing like development work, and they're just like getting this thing working on like some company's computer that they've been paid to do. So like containers just in general. And I'll also say, like, if you see a project out there, something you can install on your server, that its default install is like a Docker install, it's probably bad software, realistically speaking. Like that's what I've found. It's not just, it's actually sometimes harder to install with Docker, but like even running the thing, it's often just like poorly designed. Okay, it's sort of soy devy. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. If you avoid containerization, as an average person, I'm not now in enterprise environments. Like the thing is, I'll make these statements, and then people will like ignore the context of it and get offended by stupid things. I'm not saying that containerization, you know, is not very important in some domains, like for doing certain things. But like for an average user who wants to have a server to host a website and an email server and other things like that, containerization is just going to be like frustrating to you. So, why do you have a Wales flag next to a Confederate flag? It's not a Confederate flag, it's the flag of Georgia. I mean, well, I guess it's not the flag of Georgia anymore. They changed the flag. But yeah, a bunch of people see that and they're, well, firstly, I mean, I probably should have a Confederate flag, but I don't. But yeah, that's the flag of Georgia. You're looking extra good today, Luke. It must be the lighting. Yeah, it's funny how different I look from different angles. I watched that video I recorded, the one that was like where I was complaining about Manjaro. I forget what I titled it. I just title my videos random things that they're just sort of like general teasers. But in that video, I watched that afterwards, and I was like, man, I look really ugly in this. I was like, geez. Also, that video attracted a bunch of people who I guess have never seen my channel before, because like a lot of the comments were like, well, you're just too dumb to use Linux. You should go back to Windows, baby. You know, it's like, dude, like you could click on my channel and see the kind of stuff I do. I guess there are people who are on YouTube and watch Linux stuff and don't know who I am, which is sort of funny. Luke, what is the email and matrix tutorials on LandChad? There might be a matrix tutorial already up. If there's not, I want to say there's a PR for one. Either way, I should do a video on landchad.net again, because there's a bunch of great stuff up there right now. People have added just fantastic things. The email tutorial, I'm breaking down, so I could do a tutorial where I just tell you, hey, run my email script. But I will do that, but I want to provide like a detailed tutorial about installing an email server on your own terms. But the thing is, I want to get everything right. I'm not a pro at postfix. I want to make sure I have all the sensible settings and I explain it in a very good way. And it's hard to do that. I don't think there are email tutorials out there that have done this well. So I need to you know, think it through, do a bunch of bug testing, and you know, I guess sort of vet the right settings for everything. Avsbg, £5. Would you ever consider purchasing an unofficial ThinkPad such as the X30 or X62? They have modern performance and the classical modular design. I've never actually heard of that. X62. I might look that up later, but I have not heard about. I mean, theoretically, that sounds like a good idea, but okay. So, Static Memes sends in $5. Hey Luke, do you think that emigration to the United States from Europe is a good idea? It's hard to judge the general climate from over there since we since we are only shown negativity. I would not, like, the US and Europe are like both in bad situations, and I wouldn't recommend moving from one to the other just because, like, well, I'll say, I think in the US, like if you're an American thinking about escaping, okay, the US is probably big enough that you'll be fine. Like, you're not going to have to, I mean, that's my view of it. Just move out of a city. Same thing in Europe. Try and move out of a city. People in Europe will tell me that it's harder to get land in Europe, like rural land. It's harder to do some things in Europe. But I think that it would be better. I mean, if anything, you can move in Eastern Europe where things are a little less crazy. Well, depending on where you move in Eastern Europe. Oh, by the way, there's a chance. There's a small, teensy tiny chance that I will be somewhere in Eastern Europe later this year. Possibly. Just a chance. Okay, maybe 10% chance. It depends on how much money I have then, honestly. But I'm thinking about seeing a relative out there. So we'll see if that happens. So some of you living in Eastern Europe, maybe we'll do a meetup or something. Then again, I've never done like an America meetup. You know, maybe I should do that. But yeah, I would say like US and Europe, like never listen to the news, what people are saying, because it's all like hyper reality stuff. There are good things and bad things about both places. I mean, you know, I watch the news about the UK and it sounds like absolute hell to me. But I'm sure that in the United Kingdom, there are many places that are like fine to live. And then there's Australia, you know, now they're like locked down. They're in a police state because one 80-year-old man died of coronavirus. So, you know, but either way, like I would not pack your bags and move anywhere unless you were 1,000% sure and had direct evidence that it's a great place. Okay. And in America, if you're talking about moving here to a place that you don't know based on maybe it's going to be better here, I would not do that. Okay. Not at this point in time. Shimizu donates $2. Have you ever accessed the dark web? If so, what was it like? I mean, I've gone on tour, like maybe for one thing or another, like when people tell me, oh, check this site out or something, but never anything edgy. I mean, never anything illegal, I guess. Of course, if I had done something like that, I wouldn't say that, obviously. Or maybe I would, because I'd be, you know, I just wouldn't care. But no, I mean, I really have no reason to use like Tor and stuff like that. Like everything I need to see is on the clear web. Now, if like a lot of sites got like deplatformed and stuff, which they have, and they moved to Tor, I mean, like just political sites mostly. I mean, that's the biggest worry. Like, you know, just every vaguely, not even conservative site, but just any site that sort of counter signals the mainstream, even if they're not like right wing in any way. I feel like a year or two ago there was a real threat of like, oh, like every domain registrar is just going to shut people down, and people are going to have to move to the dark web. In a situation like that, like sure, I'd use it, but I don't have any reason to use it now. There's not a single site that I know of that I really care about, you know, on the dark web. Okay, let's see. Oh, so another thing, let me read this and then I'll say that. IE says, how hard is it to get jobs as an electrician in the country? Is there a lot of competition? How can one be a Catholic with the current state of the church? Well, you could be a sedevacantist, that's how. That's the only way I could understand being a Catholic today. Now, so in the country, I will tell you, my county has something like 2 registered, like certified electricians, okay? Which is not enough to provide for everyone here. Even if there's like 1,000 people in this county, that's not enough. You need more. So yeah, going to the country and doing one of those jobs, like you think of the country, oh yeah, country people, they have all that taken care of. They're salt of the earth people. A lot of those things, like if you like have a job, if you're like certified in something like that, you can make a lot of money in the country. Or like even things like painters can make lots of money, or like any kind of craft. I mean, you can, like, now is like the best time to have a blue collar job, okay, whether you're in a city or the country. And I would say there is not enough competition anywhere, because what happens is if you're a millennial or younger or even earlier, even if you're Gen X, people have just been inculcated with this idea. You turn 18, and if you're good, you go to college. And then you get your degree, and then you work as a barista. Okay, so no one is working these jobs like electricians, even out in the country. In the place where I live, many salt of the earth people, they're all normies. They're all like, but again, as I said, we have something like 2 electricians in our entire county. Even if that's in a county of, 1,000 people, that's, it's high in demand. So yeah. I was also going to say one other thing. So my donate page, donate.lukesmith.xyz if you want to donate. But that is actually running Fmp, and that's a software project. Who's the guy who made it? I want to say his name is Drew something. You can probably look it up. But I want to do a LandChad thing for that as well, like how to set that up too. Because I remember that being not hard, but like there were a couple hurdles that I had to jump through to install that. But it's very nice. Just theoretically, I think technically I still do have a Patreon. It's still out there, and I think still people still donate to me, because I'll get literally $100 in Patreon. That's how much money I get from Patreon a month. But hey, that's nice to have. But if you are watching and you have subscribed to my Patreon, I would rather you cancel that and do the Fmp thing. That's frankly better. Because, we don't need to use Patreon. I haven't deleted the Patreon just because I know there are some people who are using it, but I would prefer, using that. Yeah, Drew DeVault. Yeah, that's him. He has a couple cool projects. Is he... Okay, there's some project of his I was looking up the other day that was really nice. But he has a bunch of like little software projects that are all very good. Drew DeVault is the soy boy. Okay, maybe his, I don't know. Well, I will say Fmp uses Bootstrap, so that's the dead giveaway. Man, I hate Bootstrap. I should do a video on how much I hate Bootstrap. It's, again, one of those other things. This is what I hate doing. Like, I hate having an opinion on something and then doing a video on it and people just read the freaking title and don't like listen to what I say. That Linux video I did a couple days ago, good example. But if I did something on Bootstrap, it's the same thing. Actually, Bootstrap is more like, I'm going to cause controversy if I say Bootstrap is bad, because it's terrible. It's annoying. It's awful. And it might be easier to like make a website with Bootstrap, if you're just starting out, but it breeds ignorance of CSS and JavaScript. And it is so annoying to take a Bootstrap site and to port it to like normal, to make it your own, Wait, Source Hut. Yeah, did he make Source Hut? The creator of Fmp actually moved to the Netherlands from America for political reasons. I wonder what those are. Let's see. Okay, I was going to say something. Aren't sedevacantists not in communion with the church? Well, okay, if you're a sedevacantist, you believe that the visible, quote-unquote, Catholic Church is not the Catholic Church. Sedevacantists are the Catholic Church. So why would you want to be in communion with people who are heretics? Like, that's the whole point. Crazy Reddit. Why did I read that as Reddit? Crazy Red, 123, donates $5. How would you go about making a website as censor-proof as possible? I'm assuming Epic and Vulture won't cut this. Could new technologies like Handshake and IPFS help with this? Again, IPFS, I don't know that much about. So when it comes to Vulture, Vulture is just an average VPS. I use it because somehow I got it way back in the day, and I recommend it to people because they give generous recommendation money or whatever. Like, it's basically if someone signs up to it and they pay $25, I get the first $25, and that's nice. But yeah, I don't care about Vulture. Don't take that. I use it because I use it. I have no special endorsement of Vulture. If you want a better VPS provider, and I've recommended this to people who ask, use Frantech. Frantech, that's FRANTECH.ca. They're actually a Canadian company, but wait, it's not that bad. They have a very good record of being censorship resistant. Now, I'm not saying Vultr censors people. I've never heard of it, but Frantech has specifically stood, for not closing down political sites and stuff like that. So they're a step better. Now, of course, ideally, if you want to be really censorship proof, and like this is rarely a problem. I will say like censorship at the VPS level is very rare. Okay, I'm trying to think of an example of it happening. I mean, unless it's like child pornography, I doubt that it would have, like, even political stuff. I've never heard of anyone being canceled by their VPS, unless it's like Google or Amazon, of course. They cancel people all the time. But if it's like a random VPS, they're probably not going to shut you down unless you're doing something illegal in the country they're hosting in. But if you want to avoid that, you can, of course, just host your own, like, get a server and put it physically, in some place that has a good connection to the internet and host your site there. That's not too bad. And of course, you can avoid having a domain name by using Tor. But Epic has a good record. I will say some people, Epic has canceled some people, but it's like mostly illegal stuff, like people who have done targeted harassment or things that are sort of illegal. Epic in general is good. In fact, they're much, much better than any other American thing. But they're not perfect, okay? There are, and if you want like more perfection, honestly, you should get a registrar in like Eastern Europe or Russia or China or something like that. Now, in China, they'll censor you if you say bad things about the Communist Party, but they're not going to, if you say something like, I can't even say things in quotative context on YouTube, but if you say things about certain people in America, maybe gender confused people, you won't be shut down by China. They don't care. So yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, Epic and Vultr are fine. That's why I recommend them. I would not feel bad, or I would feel bad if I were giving you a bad recommendation. They suffice. Epic is good. Vultr is okay. I haven't heard anything bad of Vultr. If you have heard anything bad of Vultr, please tell me. Okay. Pieface, 5 reals. Thoughts on climate change apocalypse? Lol. Yeah. It's actually this year has been a weird weather year everywhere. Okay. Independent of climate change. People are going to say, "Oh, what? You're saying you believe in climate change?" No. But this year has been like totally weird out where I live because it's rained throughout the whole summer. Usually we have a dry month, but we haven't had a dry month. It's been great for farmers, but that's how it is here. Binary Ghosts, $5. Thanks to your videos, I've made my own websites and email servers. It's fun. Why OpenBSD over FreeBSD? OpenBSD isn't sexy and neo-fetch. Oh, I think so. Well, FreeBSD is more like on the SoyDevi SJW angle thing. Like they have a code of conduct and a couple things like that. In FreeBSD, even though like I would like their, if they use copyleft stuff, I would prefer that. OpenBSD is just more like, I don't want to say they're more like suckless, but it's more like let's create a computer that is just like stable, and let's not just add to code but take code away, that kind of stuff. So that's why I like OpenBSD. I view it as a community. I view them as more stable. Samurai Flax says, watch your video on industrial tech. Isn't software like Linux inseparable from Silicon, which is mass industrial tech also? Microcontrollers too? Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything computing related is, what is it? Organization dependent technology. So if you're using it, just bear in mind, like, don't invest your whole life on it if the collapse happens, Okay, so let's see. $5 from I don't know. He doesn't really give a name. I could guess based on his domain name, but I'll just not say. What's up, Luke? I'm going to college. My parents are paying for it and studying agriculture, specifically animal sciences, production, and industry. Based or cringe? Also, thanks for red pilling me. So it depends. Well, you just gotta, whenever it comes to college, okay, if you're going to college for free, Now, if you're going to college not for free, don't go. But if you're going to college for free, you just have to think of it not in terms of, is this going to be a good degree, but am I going to learn stuff in the meantime? So if you're put in environments where you're actually going to be learning about, how to do stuff in the real world, that would be based. But if you're just like studying books about cows, that's pretty cringe. Maybe you'll learn stuff, but yeah, it's all about putting you. I mean, same thing, especially in computer science. Like a lot of people I know went to college for computer science and they dropped out. Why? Because 1 or 2 years in, they become competent programmers and they get connected with people who can give them jobs or they can be self-employed. Same thing with everything else. Don't look at a college degree as the end. Okay. You should unlist your live streams so they don't mess with your channel. What do you mean? Okay. I almost have to go to the bathroom. I'm trying not to go to the bathroom. Thoughts on Jordan Peterson? Thank you. My streamly question of what do I think about Jordan Peterson? Just go to the last stream and find the Jordan. I said in the last stream I should just do a video on Jordan Peterson so I don't have to keep answering this question. I totally have to pee. Do you see your Vulture link is expired? We no longer have a deal going on that gives you money, I think. At least I couldn't use it. No, it works. I can pull it up right now and I will see that there's probably been someone who clicked on it today. People always say that because it goes to like the blank homepage. The link to Vulture works. And you should log in, create an account, and it'll give you an $100 credit. Actually, I will log in myself and check it because I want to make sure that I'm getting my $25. Actually, because I need to pull my browser up for something else too. So, yeah, it's definitely still working. Don't worry about it. Just because it doesn't show you a pop-up doesn't mean it's not working. Okay. Yeah, it's not because I have to pee, but I think I will stop this. Hold on. Okay, so one more announcement before I go. Remember, my book printing site is up and it's live, and I've had the shipping is actually working. I've had a couple hiccups, like cryptocurrency wasn't going through. Cryptocurrency is disabled now. I think I'm going to set it up with BTC Pay, which is like self-hosted. But you can pay in fiat. You can pay in any currency. Shipping is included in the price. It'll ship anywhere. It automatically does tax and shipping for you. So lindypress.net. Let me actually put it in the lindypress.net. That is my book reprinting site. So there are 5 titles up there now. You can see what they're about. I haven't done a video on YouTube yet, so I haven't done my official announcement, but I've had lots of people confirm that it's successfully shipping to Canada, Britain, Germany, Australia, of course America. So I have had some hiccups with the cryptocurrency. There was one guy who emailed me the other day who I think hadn't gotten his thing, but people are saying server error. Let me check that out. Let's check this out. Oh, okay. Let me see what's going on. Wow, I'm glad I mentioned that on the stream. I was wondering what. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let me fix that. Let's fix this real time, kids. Oh, I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. Var log. Yeah, that's it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it real time. And then okay. Let's see if this works. Why did no one email me that it was broken? That's what I'm annoyed by that. Okay, now it should work. Now it should work. Let me put it in the description again. lindypress.net. Yeah, before if you clicked on a book it would crash. I gotta fix that permanently. It did that the other week. I know what's going on. I just need to fix some stupid stuff. Yeah, but the site itself is working, as in if you pay, your money will go through and you will get your books. That's the thing that matters. If we have some downtime before I make it go public on YouTube, then yeah, well, everything will be fixed. It works now. So okay, why have we never seen you and Mental Outlaw in the same video together? Huh, that's an interesting question. Server error. Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks for that. Shoot, let me actually like put something in my cart, make sure it all works. Let's see. Yeah, so stupid. I need a. Now the guy who helped me write this site, helped me. It was really him who wrote it, and I did a couple tweaks. He's using Bootstrap, or I think he's using Bootstrap, isn't he? Yeah, which I also don't like. I should have told him no Bootstrap, but that would have been annoying for him. He spinned it up in like, I just spun it up in just a couple days. Well, it was like he spun it up in a couple days, but then like there was like 2 months of us emailing back and forth, me like screwing something up, or not really me screwing something, sometimes me screwing something up, but me like trying to change something or whatever. But oh, check my donations. Okay, I'll check my donations. Oh, maybe I'm looking at an old thing. Just arrived. What software is supposed to be a replacement of OBS, Fmp Mpeg, which is much better? I've been streaming. How long have I been streaming? I have 1 million browser tabs pulled up, and still only 2 gigs of RAM being used, and less than 15% of my CPU being used. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe this. Okay, so yeah. I feel so stupid I didn't check my freaking book site, because the other day I was like, I didn't get any orders today. I wonder what, I guess no one clicked on it, but no, I guess it's me being stupid and that stupid problem, which is now fixed. So you can go get some dope books. There are 5 of them. I will do videos on them. So one thing I'm looking for, I was asking girls I know, to be hand models, because I want to hand model these books. I want them to turn pages while I talk. I am so self-conscious about my hands. I hate my hands because they're veiny, they're skinny. I just don't like the way they look. I'm very self-conscious about them. That sounds stupid, but are you still using the Brave browser? I was about to do a blog entry about browsers. Okay, that might come out today. I am still using Brave. There was a period I was using ungoogled Chromium for a couple weeks, and then I got sick of it because there are basic things that ungoogled Chromium doesn't have, but Brave thankfully is put in. But Brave is still stupid. I hate all browsers. That's what my blog post was going to be about, how much I hate browsers. Yeah, girls. Maybe there'll be girls on my channel. I know, like a while ago, I was saying, me and my cousin are going to do, like a female cousin, are going to do like a stream together. She was going to like answer users submitted like personal questions about me, but I don't know. We never ended up doing that. Thick hand veins. Yeah, they're very high test. Unfortunately, like, dude, look how skinny my arm. I'm a wristlet. I'm a total wristlet. It's because I wasn't like working on a farm as a kid. That's how you know someone's really strong. Like, people look at biceps and stuff like that, but really, to tell if someone is like a strong country boy, you got to look at their wrists. And I am clearly a urban bug man I'm a total wristlet. Okay. So, anyway, I think girls' hands would sell better. I'm probably overthinking this. It would probably be easier if I were turning the pages because, I could, move them the way I want. I don't have to, whatever. How do you stream using Fmp Mpeg? Also, girls don't exist. Well, I mean, girls. Not on this channel. No girls watch this channel, of course. Actually, the only girls who watch this channel are girls that I know in real life. That's what I think. Like, relatives, former students, probably girls I know from, I don't know, different places, ex-girlfriends. I sort of wonder what some of my ex-girlfriends think now that I'm an eSoy celebrity, but I know there's at least one of them who is. Anyway. Oh, but how do I stream with Fmp Mpeg? It's actually easy. You just I'll probably put up a script. I'll put the command up on my GitHub. Let's see, pull it up. YouTube stream. I actually have a very nice script, not just one command, but it actually has all these different settings for, if I want to do different resolutions, it automatically gets the right, corresponding resolution and the max buffer rate and all this stuff. But you basically, FFmpeg has this thing, where is it? That's like you force the output FLV, and then you give a server location / and then the stream key, and you can stream to some stream. And I've tested it on YouTube and PeerTube. I haven't tested it on Odyssey. Maybe right after this, I will just pull up just for a couple minutes. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'm going to turn the stream off. I'm going to go pee, and then I'm going to go to Odyssey and stream on there. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So go to my Odyssey channel. Let me actually type this in here, which, of course, it will, get there way before you end up hearing this because the audio is always delayed, but whatever. Yeah, the audio video lag, that's FFmpeg. Normally when I do a screencast, I always have to run FFmpeg again to sort of change the video and audio. It's basically because the webcam gives delayed input. Okay, but I forgot to do this when I started the stream. I could have easily done it. Sorry, I've gotten a bunch of donations. I got to read those. Once I finish reading them, I will go pee, then we will do an Odyssey stream. So go ahead and pull up Odyssey. I will spam the chat with it. Wait, where is freaking? Okay. Let's see. Shoot. Thoughts on Kanye West? No thoughts on Kanye West. I don't have anything. Marcio sends in 25 reals. Thoughts on the Steam Deck? It uses Arch, by the way. Yeah, it sounds stupid. It's like I have no interest in it. It's probably gonna, why do I want DRM stuff on Linux? I mean, it's not even on Linux. It's just using Linux. I mean, that's the marketing thing. Because isn't it like a handheld thing? I forget. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm not interested. Juan says, "Hi Luke, gracias por la ayuda durante estos años. 2 questions. App Armor or SE Linux? I wouldn't know. I don't know those. And is onanism in a relationship fake and gay? Onanism is always cringe sin, even if it is in holy matrimony. That has always been the teaching of the Catholic Church. Hold on, I think I got an email. Okay. Guys, stop donating. I gotta pee. Do you work out? No, I don't. Or not regularly. We all know that sometimes I play through the rock. That's my workout. But I'm skinny enough and my diet is good enough that if I want to get a little buff, I can just do 100 push-ups. Pick up a rock. I wish I could do 100 push-ups all in one sitting, but I usually do it in 25, 25, 25, 25. But I'm skinny enough that I can visibly change after a little bit. And the other funny thing is when I do videos, it's funny the comments about my appearance I get, because a lot of times people say, "Whoa, dude, you've been working out," because I've done some minor work and it's visible. And a lot of times people will be like, "Dude, you look like a freaking, you're skinny and gaunt and you look like a freaking soy boy," because that's just how I've always been. I've always been I don't have much more than just muscle. When will you record something with Mental Outlaw? Probably never, because he doesn't have any public contact information. I have no contact with him. People email me assuming that I have his contact information, like his email, his matrix or XMPP. I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. He's definitely not me. He's definitely somewhere. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so Odyssey. I will try and do a stream there in a moment. So let me put. Why does this keep doing? Okay, there we go. So I will post the link one more time. I will